Hello and welcome to Lesson 6, page 49. This is the song titled Sleepy Time in the Pre-Level 1 book. And today, students, we're going to be reviewing our new note, E flat. And this song is counted in groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to break the song into smaller pieces and see if we can find any patterns with the notes that can help us play this song, because there is a pattern that is happening that is very helpful for us to notice. But before we look at each line of the song, let's talk about our notes. So last lesson, and I Can Run Fast, we just learned a brand new note called E flat, and it's the second black key in the group of 2 black keys. And remember that flat symbol, we want to remember what that is. It looks like this, like a little lowercase b. And when we add it to a note, it makes it go flat or down to the next closest key, just like a flat tire, we were saying. So remember, if you need help finding E flat, we'll find the note E, which is the 1, 2, 3, third white key under any group of 2 black keys. So we find an E, and if it's supposed to be E flat, well, let's flat the note like a flat tire and go down to the next closest key, which is this one. Now remember, students, down is to the left on our piano, and that's going to be important for the pattern in our song today. Okay, so we know where E flat is, but how about the rest of our notes? Well, it's still under a group of 2 black keys. Under the group of 2 black keys, we have 1, 2, 3 white keys, and we're going to need all 3 of those white keys today. The first one is C. The next one is D. And finally, the last one is E. The hand position I'm going to use today is 1 finger on middle C. Just remember, in the middle of our piano, we can stretch out our hands and bring them together. That helps me find this group of 2 black keys that has middle C under it. Then I'm going to use 2 fingers in the right hand to cover D and E. Now, remember, you might say, well, what about E flat? You can reach up to E flat with either of these 2 fingers when you need it in this hand position, okay? Another option would be to use 3 fingers to cover C, D, and E, or maybe you want to cover every note in the song. It's okay, you could do 2 and 2 maybe, 2 fingers in the left hand, 2 in the right hand, maybe 1 and 3. There's a lot of options for this song. I'm going to do cover C, D, and E and reach up to E flat when I need it, okay? But you make the choice of what you want to use. All right, well, let's practice playing our notes with some 1, 2, me, then you, where I'm going to say the notes and you are going to play and hold the notes. Ready? 1, 2, me, then you. Play a C. How about a D? Now an E. How about E flat? Now C. How about E? Now a D. Now an E flat. And a C. Nice work. And now we're ready to look at the first line of Sleepy Time. And in line number 1, it's pretty long. There's a lot of rhythms here, so I'm going to break it up into smaller pieces like I usually do for us to look at. And I'm going to break it up into 6 beats each. So I have 6 walk notes here. And here I have 3 walk notes, which is 3 beats. And hopefully you remember the name of this rhythm. It's not a half note, it's a dotted half note. And the dotted half note gets 1, 2, 3 beats. So there's another 6 beat pattern. Okay, so let's look at the first half we have here and our 6 walk notes. Well, let's first clap those 6 walk notes at a steady beat together. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, here we go. 1, 2, 3, Here we go. Walk, walk, walk 3 more. Walk, walk, walk. That sounds pretty good. And let's look at our pianos now and what notes we're going to need on the music. So it looks like the pattern we have is E, D, C. E, D, C. Well, let's take a look at our pianos and see what that means in the direction that we're moving. We start with an E, and we go down to a D, then down to a C. So we're moving to the left in our pattern to start the song. E, D, C. And then you just do that same pattern again. E, D, C. Hey, that makes it pretty easy to remember. Let's try it together now in our hand position. E, D, C, E, D, C. 1, 2, 3. First half, play, play. E, D, C. And again. E, D, C. Fantastic job. Looking at the second half of our first line, we have the same pattern, except this time instead of E, D, C, we're going to play E flat, D, C for the first part. And then we have our dotted half note. How long do we hold that? E flat for 3 beats. So again, the pattern is exactly the same. We're still just going down to the left, but the next time we just play E flat, D, C, and then up to E flat. Let's clap that second half of the line. It's going to be 3 walk notes, and then we hold 2, 3, just to practice our steady beat. So second half of our first line, 1, 2, 3, second half, clap, clap, walk, 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 dotted half note, hold, 2, 3. Very good. And now we're ready to try it on our pianos. Remember, same pattern as earlier, that E, D, C, but now we're going E flat, D, C, then back up to that dotted half note for 3 beats. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Play E flat, D, C. Now E flat, 2, 3. Nice job. You've gotten through the first line of Sleepy Time, and guess what? That pattern we were talking about earlier starts to repeat itself a little bit in our second line, okay? Here it is again, E, D, C, and I'll actually break this in half as well. First half and second half. So we have 6 walk notes again, just like our first line, E, D, C, but don't let this trick you. After E, D, C, it does E flat, D, C. So this song is kind of taking these patterns of E, D, C, or E flat, D, C, and putting them in other spots in our song, okay? So once you learn that pattern of E, D, C, and then E flat, D, C, you can play most of this song pretty easily because it just repeats it. So the first half of our second line, we play E, D, C, and then E flat, D, C. So it comes a little sooner this time. Let's try it nice and slow together, our E flat, D, C. And let me just break this part in half again. There we go. Hope I could draw it better too. Okay, we are ready for the first half of line 2. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Play E, D, C. Now E flat, D, C. Great job. And now we are ready for the second half of line number 2. Okay, and now we're ready for the second half of line number 2. And it looks like we have 2 dotted half notes. So we're going to hold 2, 3, hold 2, 3. And let's get ready to clap those together. We're going to hold 2, 3, and then again hold 2, 3. And remember a trick, you could say dotted half notes if that helps you remember how long to hold it as well as what it is called. Here we go. We're going to clap the second half of our line. 1, 2, 3, second, half, clap, clap, hold, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3. I think that this is going to be pretty easy for us. We just have 2 D's. Hold, 2, 3, and hold, 2, 3. All right, let's get our hands ready in position and try the second half of our second line. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. And hold, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3. Fantastic work. And now let's try the full second line. Hands ready. 1, 2, 3. Line 2. Play, play. E, D, C. Now E flat, D, C, and D. 2, 3, and hold. 2, 3, and off. Awesome job. We are now halfway through the song, and it looks like that line number 3 is again the same as line number 1. And let's play it for the extra practice. Hands ready? 1, 2, 3. Line 3. Play, play. E, D, C. E, D, C. Now E flat, D, C, and E flat, 2, 3. Great work. And moving to the last line of our song, we have the same rhythms as the second line, but the notes have changed only a little bit. Look, we still have our pattern that was in line 2. E, D, C, and then E flat, D, C. I'm sure we've mastered that pattern by now. And next we are up for a C with our dotted half note for 3 beats and another C. So again, almost the same as line number 2, but our difference is that we play C at the end and not D. Let's go ahead and give all of line 4 a try, nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3. Line 4. Play. Play. E, D, C. Now, E flat, D, C, and C. 2, 3, and C. 2, 3. Great job. And now we're ready to go back to the beginning of our song and play through at our first slow, steady beat. And then we'll do it again at a slightly faster speed. So hands ready for our first full performance of Sleepy Time. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Play. E, D, C. E, D, C. Now, E flat, D, C. E flat, 2, 3. Second line. E, D, C. Again. E flat, D, C. Now we hold D, D. 2, 3, D, 2, 3. Third line. E, D, C. E, D, C. E flat, D, C. E flat, 2, 3. Last line. E, D, C. Now E flat, E flat, D, C, and C, C. 2, 3, C, 2, 3. Very good. And something we didn't mention earlier in the song is this softly at the end, and that just would mean that we play the note quieter than before, almost like our friend in the picture is finally falling to sleep at sleepy time at the end. So if you get really comfortable with the song, you can start practicing playing the last note softer than all the other notes, but that's something we can choose to add later. Okay, let's go back to the beginning. You can always come back to this when you're ready. We're going to do Sleepy Time at a little bit of a faster speed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. E, D, C. E, D, C. E flat, D, C. E flat, 2, 3. E, D, C. E flat, D, C. D, 2, 3. D, 2, 3. Third line. E, D, C. E, D, C. E flat, D, C. E flat, 2, 3. Last line. E, D, C. E flat, D, C, C. 2, 3. C, 2, 3, and off. Congratulations on completing the song Sleepy Time, and I will see you on the next lesson.